Please, Mr. Abdul Ghani Shaban, say something. Ah, okay. Thank you, Engineer Abdul Ghani Shaban. Even though your company is still young, and you still look young to me. Abdul Ghani Shaban is my friend, previously in the same school, in my big brother lah. So he been in a consulting firm. Before this, he was in Ikram. He's a very good engineer, very well, and well versed in his area lah. So another prominent person which will be conducting this session is our CEO from Asian VERTEX, Tuan Haji Abdul Almin Osman, the founder or the owner of Asian VERTEX. Maybe I will call upon Mr. Tuan Haji to a bit of introduction. Silakan.
Baik, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya harap semuanya dalam keadaan baik dan sejahtera hari ini. Boleh dengar ke semua? Boleh ya? Okey, alhamdulillah. Jadi alhamdulillah hari ini saya tengok kat sini kita ada almost 200 participants. Hopefully more is coming. Jadi saya nak mengucapkan welcome to this session. Dan juga berterima kasih kerana meluangkan masa untuk saya lebih comfortable hari ini kita share knowledge, tapi untuk saya ni lebih kepada share experience lah. Knowledge tak berapa banyak, jadi insyaAllah share experience sikit. Nama saya seperti yang kita tahu Abdul Amin Osman. Saya started my career in Shell, Sabah and Sarawak Shell Berhad. Masa itu berpusat di Miri, di Sarawak. Jadi saya ni sebenarnya bukan background civil. Saya asalnya daripada graduated as a petroleum engineer from University of Alabama daripada US. Kemudian tapi saya alhamdulillah bersyukur kerana saya banyak exposure bukan saja dalam bidang petroleum engineer. Petroleum engineer saya walaupun saya dalam petroleum engineer itu sebagai engineer dan saintis selama dekat 30 tahun, tapi saya juga lebih 30 tahun maaf, dan saya juga berpeluang untuk involve dalam banyak civil and mechanical engineering punya area. Jadi dekat situlah datang interest. Okay. And I understand juga there is a very sorry I think we have to mix it skip the language because I was told there's also international participants from outside. So I just introduce myself. We're going to try to speak in both language, Bahasa Malaysia and also English. Okay. So after that I retired early and then decided that a new phase of my life where I was thinking, let's do something different. Let's look at what we can do. That's how we started the company in 2015. Yeah. So enough about me. I think I'll pass back to the moderator. before we go into the main presentations, inshallah.
Thank you, Tuan Haji Hamid. Brief introduction done very well. And we also have our few assistant or engineer from VETEX will take the assist Haji Hamid and try to collaborate whatever question and answers from the audience. We have Cik Aina to, to, to introduce herself.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Aina Salahuddin, saya R&D Engineer daripada Asian VERTEX. My background sebenarnya dalam chemical engineering, tapi right now I'm pursuing my masters in civil engineering supaya dapat meningkatkan lagi ilmu untuk kita sama-sama membangunkan road infrastructure di Malaysia.
Thank you. And we have Encik Muhammad Muzamil as our project engineer with Asian VERTEX. Please introduce yourself, Encik Muzamil.
Assalamualaikum, a very good morning. My name is Muhammad Muzamil Salahuddin. Same with Miss Aina, I am graduated chemical engineer from Germany. But as for now, I am pursuing my career in the road infrastructure industry. I think the knowledge that I've gathered so far, joining Asian VERTEX is going to be very useful, and I think it's going to make our community or the public users a bit safer by improving the quality of our roads and our infrastructure. Thank you.
Thank you, Encik Muzamil. These are the prominent figures who will be conducting the talk sepanjang masa boleh 2 jam ya. So make yourself easy. Ada Q&A nanti we ask the panel at the end of the day. And likewise, let me introduce a bit the Asian VERTEX. This is 100% Bumi Putra company, incorporated in 2015 and start the marketing in 2017. And Asian VERTEX is involved with innovative solution. We're saying that with high technology for road construction industry. With that note, I will delegate back to Haji Hamid Osman to deliver their punya talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tuan Haji. Okay, I think the way we conduct the presentation will be, there will be a few sessions. I think each subject matter, if you guys don't mind, because with the 200 participants, I think it's best that we finish the presentation. For each subject, any question arises from the presentation, we are welcome. We really appreciate any questions after each session. And I would suggest that, at the 1 hour break, 1 hour we take a break, maybe 5 minutes just to refresh ourselves and then come back here. So now it's 10:11. So let's start the presentation. Give me a few seconds to share the slides. Okay, so I hope you guys can see the slides. Is there anybody having problem to see the slides? No, yeah? Okay, good. All right. Okay, the content of the presentations today will be something like this. This is just to put things into perspective. There will be 7 products that we're going to present. We will start, allow me to start with a few minutes introduction of the company itself, so that you know who we are, where are we in the market, and what we are doing. So allow me to do that, and then we go zoom into a few of all our products. Yeah, we will start with the SFM Super Fiber Mix, and then followed by the SFM FR Plus. That is the improvement of the SFM, and then we go into the all-weather fiber reinforced mix. That's mainly for repair roads, potholes, and then also fiber reinforced concrete. And then we go to the evaluation area of our services, which is the MSD and the LSP, the LiDAR scanner profiler. And then lastly, we will close with the glow in the dark, which we introduced, I think, late last year. Yeah, late last year, right? Yes. Okay. So you can see with the content, we will talk mainly on innovative products that we have, providing the industry for now. Next. Right. Okay. This is the company. That's like Haji Samsul mentioned, established in 2015. So we are going to have our 10-year anniversary, inshallah, by February next year. So pejam celik tak sangka dah 10 tahun dah. Yeah, it is a company registered in Shah Alam. Presently, we have offices in Shah Alam, Section 14. We have one at Denai Alam, and we have our warehouse and mini factory in Monteres. It's a 100% Bumi Putra company. When we established the company, the idea is to be different. The idea is to look at where is the gap in terms of technology that we can apply in Malaysia, so that at the end of the day, we want to solve problem. We want to give a better quality roads. Presently, I think things has changed a lot. Things have changed a lot. We're talking about the traffic itself has increased, I think, more than tenfold if you compare to 20 years ago. The type of vehicles is so different. And the weather recently, the last recent years has changed. So here we're talking about the environment has changed. And therefore, we must change also the road construction technology to cater for all these changes. So we're looking here at providing a solution where we can improve the longevity and the comfort and safety of roads in Malaysia. So we are, in a nutshell, specialized in pavement. We provide materials. We also provide services for evaluation, and also giving added value. I will describe later on what's the added value that we can offer. Next. Oh, sorry. Mission. Basically, what as a summary is to provide innovative. When we say innovative, is something new, something different. We normally introduce new technology in Malaysia. Our product, if you can see, is always first in Malaysia. And it has to be a quality product that meets or surpass the requirement of the authority and the users. Any technology has to be cost effective. So we also considering the practicality on the cost effectiveness, because there's no point if you provide a technology, but implementation will be impossible because it's cost too high. Last but not least, it has to be sustainable. When we say sustainable, there are two aspects about it. Then when we consider our product, first, it has to be environmentally, health and safety issue must be incorporated in the services or the material that we produce. Secondly, in terms of cost, like I say, it relates to the cost effectiveness just now I mentioned. It has to be sustained. It has to be affordable so that people can use, the industry can use it continuously. Yeah, so that is our mission. We want to be different in a nutshell. We want to provide cost-effective and good quality product and services. That's what we're doing now. And the vision for the future is, I think we are ready to go outside Malaysia. Inshallah, by next year we'll be having our services in Indonesia. And then we will see where we can grow from there. So we are not only talking about Malaysia. I think now it's timely to go to see whether we can export our services outside Malaysia. But who we are, this is who we are. Right now, we have about 153 personnel in the company. It's a bit unique because we are, initially when we say HM VERTEX, people thought it is only a trading company, but we are not. What's the difference is that we have our own R&D, it's a big R&D team where we do our own research in collaboration with local universities in Malaysia, including UITM, USM, UTM, UTHM, and we are just signed an agreement with also University of Malaya to carry out research and development study. When we say research and development, it's not a typical academic research. We always have in mind what we want to do and how to scale up for the industry. So we are looking at not only technical, but also the application R&D. The company is chaired by Dato' IR Haji Zul Akmal bin Sufyan. Basically, he is our chairman. He has vast experience in the infrastructure industry. He was the Deputy Director General of Jabatan Kerja Raya Malaysia. With his vast experience, I think we are lucky that steering us to provide a better service to the client by identifying what's the gap in the industry. We have a mixture of civil engineers. Mainly, they are in the company. There are civil engineers and mixing it with chemical, petroleum, mechanical. We have one even aeronautical engineer. So it's a mix of competency and skill from different engineering background. We also have one seismologist in the company, supported by, I think, very strong support department in finance and as well as HR and corporate com. Maybe some of you wonder what is AH. AH is my name, Abdul Hamid, and is my beloved wife, Nur Hayati. Used to be Nilofa, tapi Nilofa dah cerai. So now tinggal Nur Hayati. Okay, so Alhamdulillah, this is the company. And what do we do? What is our products and services? It is divided into three categories. The first one is asphaltic. Like I say, we are specialists in pavement. Asphaltic, we have a few products. Most of it related with the fiber that we use in the mix. One we will call is SFM, super fiber mix, will be the first subject that I'm going to talk about. We also have then that is basically reinforced asphaltic mix to make the mix stronger and more durable. That's the nutshell. But the beauty of this fiber is that it can use for different applications like RAP. VTO is a very thin overlay. We have gap graded. It also can be used in any asphaltic mix, including the binder as well as the macadam. Yeah. We have a special mix for the coal mix to repair potholes, repair roads, yeah, quick repair. And the latest that we have is the SFM FR, meaning super fiber mix, short form for super fiber mix, fuel resistance plus because it enhances the SFM itself. On the other side, the gray color is the concrete, where we are using fiber to reinforce concrete. So here we're talking about replacing the steel reinforcement for non-structure. We will talk about detail about it, where we can apply in different area. Last but not least is the middle one, where we're talking about here is the engineering and evaluation category, where we have capability for pavement design, where we have our own design team, we have our own forensic team, and we're using different tools for different purposes, which we're going to discuss detail, which include the MSD, speed deflectometer, and then LSP, our latest acquisition, which is the LiDAR scanner profiler, and a GPR, which is the ground penetrating radar. Yeah, so last but not least is the glow in the dark paint. Started with a hobby while looking at what new technology that we can introduce. So that's how the glow in the dark come, with which will be presented by Mr. Muzamil. Okay, let's talk about the first subject. So we have basically introduced this SFM in 2017. What is it? Like I mentioned before, the normal AC14 is good. It has been used widely around the world, including Malaysia. But it has its also limitation because it doesn't last as long as it need to be, especially with the condition of traffic and weather now. That's why we come up with a special mix called super fiber mix. What is it? It's basically base material, which can be any hot mix. Can be applied in wearing course or binder course. So it can be used as normal dense mix or special gap graded mix, also in the binder with different sizes of aggregates, using the normal bitumen, yeah, PG 6070. So that's the normal bitumen. We are not using any special bitumen because, like I say, one of the criteria when we do new mix is we want to make it cost effective. Yeah. But we add a special fiber called fortified fiber, which consists of two different fibers. One is aramid, and the other one is polyolefin. Aramid is a special fiber which is very strong. The beauty of this is that it is stronger than steel, more than 6 times stronger than steel. You're talking here about almost 2,800 MPa tensile strength. Main purpose of this aramid is to provide physical or mechanical reinforcement. So you're talking, what we're seeing here now is normally concrete is reinforced by steel, now fiber, but now we have this fiber with a very strong tensile strength to reinforce our asphaltic mix. Yeah. So the idea is to make sure that the fiber is uniformly distributed, and therefore we have to use the second fiber, which is polyolefin. Main objective, it is type of polymer, and main objective is to distribute the aramid fiber so that we have a uniform distribution of the fiber. What we want at the end of the day is to achieve a 3-dimensional fiber reinforcement asphaltic mix. At the same time, because it's a polymer, polyolefin also provide improvement on the bitumen. Chemically, it is a polymer. It also provide some improvement in the bitumen, and therefore it binds the mix better compared to the just normal 60-70. And all of this mix is mixed into the mix in a dry state, meaning there's no pre-blending of polymer involved here. Another thing is the aramid is so strong, and also operating temperature can go up to 427, and therefore very suitable for our asphaltic, which normally is mixed at around a temperature about 160 C. So it's more than enough. And aramid is also used a lot in the commercial as well as in military application. This is the same material that we use to make bulletproof vest, yeah. Even tank skin, ship rope. So there's a lot of application because of the high tensile strength. So what are the advantages of this SFM? First of all, it's stronger and more durable compared to the conventional. It provides three-dimensional reinforcement. I will share you some interesting slides and videos to show the improvement that we are talking about here. Okay, this is a case in California. It is actually in the desert area of California. Uh, um, so here we're talking about crocodile crack issue. Because of the extreme temperature, it's very hot when especially summertime. Even in the summertime, during at night, it can be very cold. It's a desert area. So extreme temperature the same day. If you talk about winter, it's even worse. And therefore, crack happen easily because of temperature difference. As well as, of course, the traffic here. Yeah? So you can see here, there's a lot of crocodile crack along the pathway and also block crack everywhere. So what we want to test whether the fiber works. So a simple test, if you can see on the picture on the right, we put the fiber on the left lane without milling. Here we're talking about no milling. So on one side, on the left side, we include the fiber, and on the right side, no fiber, no milling. Yeah, so you just overlay on top of the severely cracked pavement, and you can see the result is so different. After 7 months, the one without the fiber already show reflective cracking. The crack originated from the bottom and it reflects to the top. So we call it reflective cracking. But on the left, with the fiber, it helps to resist the crack from the bottom. In fact, here there's no crack after 7 months. So this is a very good testimonial how reinforcement of fiber works with the high tensile strength. This is also a very interesting video that I want to share with you. That before that, I just want to show you that when we add the fiber with the dosage that we use, very low dosage, only 0.05% by weight of fiber to the mix, it provides, if we can arrange the fiber, I'm talking here about aramid fiber, 1 meter cube of of fiber contain 950 length kilometer aramid fiber. So it's a lot. Although by weight it's very light, but because it's light, the volume is high. The best thing is that with the fiber, it reduces ruts and cracks. Here is a video just to show you how strong when we add the fiber into the.
One of the biggest challenges we have is talking
I
to
have to a bit
and what Fortify
just to show you this is when we add the fiber into the mix, it will look like this. You can see the fiber berjurai-jurai kat sini. Yeah, you can see it very clearly. You should be able to see the fiber because this fiber doesn't melt at the temperature of the mixing temperature that we use. So it doesn't melt, and this is the fiber that at the end of the day will bind the aggregate and mix together and make it stronger.
is fiber reinforcement. We actually have fibers that are living within the asphalt lift for the life of that product. If you put a product in, what we noticed was something very interesting. That was a project. Typically, when you have a pipe that'll break, you'll have the asphalt will go over to the edge of where the ground had washed away, and it simply breaks off. In this particular Typically, when you have a pipe that'll break, you'll have the asphalt will go over to the edge of where the ground had washed away, and it simply breaks off. In this particular
I'm going to show you. This is location is at Boeing manufacturing plane plant. This is at one of the taxiway, I think. SFM is used in runway and also taxiway of these facilities to reduce maintenance. They want no maintenance aspect actually. So we use this fiber, but in this case, there is a
particular case, it didn't do that.
I can say
In
failure.
fact, even though it had sunk 2 or 3 inches, we only had one very minor crack. I'd asked if they would be able to repair and give me some videos or photographs of the.
Okay, what happened is that let me see. Let me try to find the. Okay, This is the picture. Use SFM in this pavement, but there is a failure because of pipe breaks. Pipe was broken, water at the bottom of at the base, and therefore it sunk a bit. Yeah, and typically if you have a lot of water underneath, you can see crumble and basically disintegration of the mix. In this case, it didn't. It only sunk, some minor crack at the edge. Yeah, but it failed. Therefore, it need to be repaired. There's a manhole pipe across here and pipe leak causing this defect. But what's amazing is when we try to repair it, sometimes this mix is called semi-rigid pavement. Yeah,
where
and
the ground had washed
the
away.
best way to
It
is to
simply breaks
demonstrate
off. In this
what
particular
we mean
case,
by
it didn't do that.
by
2 or 3 inch crack. I would repair and give me some videos or photographs of the scene.
just watch. This is
And really what we got
really
back was stark.
amazing.
They ended up doing a saw cut around the entire piece. They simply attached a single anchor point
We
in the
can
center
cut
of an
and keep it one
8-foot-long
piece.
slab of asphalt, and they plucked
Why?
it out of the
Because of
ground
the
in one
reinforcement
piece.
by the fiber.
And
So it's
in
just like a
fact, they
concrete
did
slab,
that
just
not
like
only
a
on one
metal
side,
that
but they did on both sides of this
you
particular
can
clip.
cut it and leave it, because
Now, you might have seen something like that with
strength
reinforced
provided by
concrete. We've never
reinforcement
seen that with
provided by the
asphalt
fiber.
before, unless it's
So this is just to
4 feet.
show you the strength. When we talk about strength, this is I think picture and video is best demonstrated. Right. This is also a case when we say stronger and durable. This is at the Meru Tunnel or Menora Tunnel. Some people call it Menora Tunnel. Southbound plus highway is used. This is the condition before 2021 January. It is badly defect, and it has to be frequently maintained. Here, I think it's almost monthly maintenance is required. Quite severe issue is there is ground failure because of water encroachment to the lean concrete underneath. These are the tunnel. So and drainage issue problem. So what we have done is together with the Plus team come up with a solution where we permanently repair the drainage issue, and we use SFM. So until today, instead of every month defect, now I think with the SFM, there's no maintenance for the last, I think, coming to what, 2 years, 1.5 years? Yeah, 1.5 years, no maintenance. So you can see that the strength really help to reduce the maintenance. So that's stronger and durable. And another advantage is so easy to mix. Yeah, we design it such that there's no requirement to repair or to modify the plant. Our fiber is infused into the mix at the plant. This is a good video project we have done in 2018 with JKR and Roadcare. We use batch plant, laptop batch plant last time. This is how we make. It's a part mill. Just throw the bag there. It looks easy, yeah? Of course, only qualified people will do the mixing. It has to be done at the right time, right place, right temperature, at the right dosage. But you don't need modification of the plant. So that's why SFM now is one of the mix that is widely used in Malaysia, because application is so easy. Installation also simple. I think let me see if there is any. Oh no. Okay. Installation basically is the same installation technique as per the conventional. There's no change or modification to the procedure as well. So it's really plug and play. What we need is only to add the fiber into the mix at the plant. You have longer working window. This is good for the contractor because normally when you send it from the plant to the site, depending on location of the plant, you lose the temperature, and there is a minimum temperature where you need to keep so that when you lay the aspartic mix, it can be compacted. Yeah. But the beauty, one of the advantage of the SFM, the heat loss is very low, and therefore you can keep it longer at the roadside. Not you never know that there will be problem at site where you have to keep the lorry at the roadside longer. You don't want to lose the heat too fast. So this also added advantage. Another advantage is proven track record. We have used it quite a lot in Malaysia. In fact, our record as of December last year, we have paved equivalent to more than 8.6 million meters square of roads in Malaysia, especially in JKR and JKR State, which is 69%, and the highways, mainly plus highway, 25%, and the rest come from PBT. So it is proven to record. It is suitable in Malaysia. We have more than I think seven years of track record in Malaysia. This is include Sabah and Sarawak. In terms of state, this is the breakdown of the state use in Malaysia. So the biggest I guess is Selangor and Pahang, because there are more roads in Selangor and Pahang and Johor. And then the rest come next. So even Sabah Sarawak is about 6% use. And in the highways, there are 3 main highways that are using it right now. This year we have also used it in other highway operator like yeah, plus SDE, probably there are others as well. There's I think this year we have the NPE, quite a few. I think 2-3 concessionaires are using now the SFM project. So I think that's proof that it is suitable and it works. And we have a repeat order. This is our clientele, basically all major players in Malaysia. I have already used our SFM. Okay. Sini lah. Okay. Let's look at the performance of SFM. Yeah. So you look at the performance, it is really proven. You look at the normal stability, Marshall properties. Yeah. If you look at AC, normal AC JKR specification has to be bigger than 8,000 Newton with the flow 224 and stiffness more than 2,000. Our specification is of course different because it is specialty mix. So minimum expectation from SFM is 13,000 with stiffness of 2006. There are also advanced properties that we measure, including resilient modulus, creep modulus, and the rest. And our performance so far has been great. With a proven average about almost 14.5 kilonewton Marshall stability. Here, when we say this average, it comes from, just to demonstrate, it comes from many samples, many plants. 1 to 36 is the number of plants that using it, and each plant we would take multiple samples to come up with average for each plant, and then we have established the average stability is about 14,697 Newton. So here, in terms of statistical data, I think we have enough to say that the strength and the measurement is very representative. The highest so far we have seen is about 18,000. So it is much stronger indication compared to the normal AC. Yeah? Let's look at also special look at the resilient modulus. Specification calls for 3,000 MPa, and so far our average about 4,008. If you look at the tensile strength ratio, is more than 80. It's close to 89%. Hamburg wheel tracking, talking about writing. specification called 12.5, and so far we have 5.7 mm only. So here, as a summary, properties indicates evidence that the mix is really stronger than the normal one, and it can last longer. If you look at modulus, this is the one that we want to measure over long term, whether it can withstand longer, and definitely 5,008 is a big number. Okay. This is the track record, some of the track record that we have done. This is at Jalan Istana in Pahang, where we only mill. Where we only overlay. We did not mill. This is the condition before. In this case, because of the budget constraint, I think JKR and Rokia decided just to overlay, in view of the base is still good. The crack is severe, but it's not. There's no really total failure. So we just overlay in 2021, and so far until today, Alhamdulillah, I think today is already coming to 4 years. Still in good condition, without any defect so far. So if we talk about maintenance, there's no pothole for the last 4 years, and there's no maintenance. So cost very low. Maintenance cost very low. This is also Negeri Sembilan, same thing. This is before, but in this case, we, as per normal procedure, we will do mill and pave 50 mm, and this is already 6 years and still counting. This is in Batam Padang. This is DKR Federal Road, mill and pave, and already 6 years, still very good, no defect. This is in Bentong, the one that I showed you the video, same, 6 years and still counting. So in terms of track record, proven track record, we have a lot. In fact, the longest one that used SFM is already more than 10 years actually in DVKL, which I will share with you later. Another advantage is the moisture resistant. In Malaysia, as you are aware, it's a tropical country. It's very wet. We receive plenty of rain. Most of our properties, if you look at the standard, does not emphasize on the ability to resist water issue. But in this case, just want to demonstrate that with the fiber, it can reinforce the mix better by providing a high tensile strength and high tensile strength ratio. When I say ratio, it means the strength of the mix in wet condition compared to the strength of the mix in dry condition. Meaning, the higher the better. Under perfect condition, we want it to be 100%. Meaning, you notice in Malaysia, when after rain, you can see the defects start to arise, start to come. You can see the start to crack, and some potholes will develop after the rain. Why? Because during wet condition is where the mix is the weakest. Tensile ratio, because water is the enemy of the pavement. Once it's wet, is the weakest. Imagine when it's weaker, and with the pumping pressure from the tire, that's where the cracks start to happen, and some cases spoil of the mix. So you want to have a high TSR, tensile strength ratio of mix. In this case, in SFM, we can our average is about 89% in real world, and sometimes it goes to 80%, 90, almost 100%, like 98, 97%. Compared to the normal one, at the lab level, this is 85%. In real world, it varies between 70 to, I think, 85%. So tensile strength ratio of SFM is higher compared to the normal one, and that's why we have cases where Here it is in Sepang. This is the condition before. And in 2021, 2022, if you guys remember, there's big flood all over Malaysia. And this in particular section was submerged with water for 3 to 4 days. So the one at the control already cracked. Again, because of the moisture content is very high. And Alhamdulillah, in the SFM, because the TSR is high, until today, it still holds, there's no defects. Yeah, so that's one of the beauty of the fiber. In this particular location, our TSR was about 97%. Yeah, it's very, very high. That's why it doesn't fail easily, even though at wet condition, because the strength during wet condition of SFM is about the same as the strength when it's dry. Okay, supply so far, I think we have never failed to supply, even to our big client like Plus and JKR, where yearly we are talking here, we are producing almost more than 200,000 tons yearly. Yeah, and cost is the most important thing. With the use of SFM, just this is the case in Plus. Location is at northern region at Ipoh, kilometer 272 and 272.7. It's about 600 meter of POC. This is actually proof of concept when we did it in 2018. This is the condition of the pavement before the POC. There's a lot of crack, raveling, and at that time, the design of the road is actually 20 MSA for 10 years. So they expect in 10 years to achieve what 20 MSA. But in real life, actually, we achieved more than 23 MSA in half of the time. So that's demonstrate that the traffic volume in Malaysia has increased. In this case, double within less than 10 years. Yeah. We have 3 sections in this POC. One is mill and pave 200 mm. We call it MP 200. So what we have done is this is the control section where we use conventional mix. About 90 mm of DBM, 60 mm of the binder, and 50 mm of wearing cost. So total of 200 mm was milled and replaced with normal conventional mix. The next 200 meter section, 330 meter section, we change. We do not touch the DBM. We only change the binder with the normal mix AC28 60 mm, and we use the SFM on the wearing cross. So here we call it mill and pave 110 because 110 mm of new material is used. One at the bottom is normal, and on the wearing course is the SFM. The last section, which is about 330 and climbing, mill and pave only 50 mm. So we just replace the wearing course. And let's look at the performance. And this performance is quite encouraging in the SFM section. If you look at the control, this is the condition in August 2023, where the starting of the micro crack has developed. You can see it here. And the section where we use SFM at the wearing cost and new binder is still in good condition with no defects. And amazingly, even at the mill and pave 50 mm only, there's no defect. This all at slow lane. Even if with the increase of traffic, about 23 MSA in less than 5 years, the performance has been good and no defect in SFM section. So if you look at the cost, this is comparative cost with the control of mill and pave 200. Let's say this is comparative 100%. Relatively, using SFM only at the wearing cost and change the new binder, you already save initial cost of 34%. If you use MP50, mil MP50 only, initial cost is saved by 65%. So it's quite significant save in terms of the initial cost, let alone the maintenance, because in the future, the MP 200 already this year have already been replaced because the crack is worse. So they have already changed here. And whereas in the MP 110 and MP 50, after 5 years, still no maintenance required. So in terms of life cost analysis, life cost also life cycle cost also there will be a significant saving for the asset owner. In terms of work duration for Plus is so important because they don't want to close the traffic too long. Yeah, with MP 200 for every kilometer lane, they need to close the traffic. Working days require about almost 2 weeks. If you only do mil and pave 110, you save 7 days. Yeah, almost 7 days, 46% faster. And if you only mil and pave 50 mm, talking here about almost 70% faster. So here the traffic closure is reduced significantly because there's less work to do. This is the longest stretch that we use as FM. It was another POC in DBKL, Jalan Kuching, which is one of the busiest road in Malaysia. In this section, it was done in 2015. Left lane was, we're using the normal AC14. There are 4 lanes here. The slow lane and middle lane, we are using the SFM. And the last lane, we're using the SMA, the stone mastic asphalt. So on the fast lane, they use stone mastic asphalt, which we can assume less heavy vehicle. Whereas in the slow lane and middle lane, this is where all the heavy commercial vehicle is used. Yeah? After 2020, in 2021, it's about 7 years. If you look at the work itself, I think SMA maintenance was required, I think in the 4th year. So once over the last 7 years, there's once mil and pave done. For AC14, I think they have done 1, 2, 3, 3 times already here. And of course, in between, there's a lot of patchwork. If you look at the cost, without looking at the cost escalation of the material, just looking at cost of the day, compared to normal AC14, SMA save about 26% cost. Talking about the maintenance cost life cycle. Yeah? With SFM, they can save even more, 70%, because it can last longer. Alhamdulillah, until today, the road still no maintenance required. But I think since last year, I can see there's minor defect happen in the SFM section. But here we're talking about 10 years. So I think it's very, very good performance. This is also one good cost comparison in terms of life cycle cost. This is in Sungai Buloh, Jalan Kubu Gajah. It's actually a very Jalan Kampung, but it needs to be maintained frequently, almost yearly before, because there is a drainage issue here where the road is always submerged in water for a few hours or sometimes days, and therefore it fails earlier. This is the condition before 2017. In 2017, we did an overlay without milling, 50 mm, and until today, there's no requirement for maintenance. So if you compare with the conventional, you're talking here about, at least almost 80% of cost saving in terms of life cycle. Right. So I think that's the most important thing when for any asset owner, in this case the government, looking at cost effectiveness of material, and this will help the government to reduce the maintenance cost over the life cycle. It's environmentally friendly. Why we want to claim it environmentally friendly? We are getting the green certificate soon. not only the material itself, but also we're talking here, less resources, natural resources will be used because there's less maintenance requirement. Yeah. And we can also use the recycle material to make the SFM. And in terms of pricing, it's very competitive. It's only a few percent higher compared to the conventional, but when we convert that into the cost for maintenance, it reduces a lot, like I demonstrated just now. And of course, with the value-added service that we have, we can do the design for our client. For new road, we can do forensic. That is provided to give the best solution to the client. So many advantages for the SFM. The material is approved by DKR. In a nutshell, a very good performance by SFM has been demonstrated over the last 7-8 years, and so far is one of the specialty mix being used in Malaysia the most. Yeah. So that concludes my first session. It's take a bit longer, but we will quicken it a bit because now it's already 11. Can I take any question if you have any? Oh, any question? If you have any question? Okay, let me see the chat. Can I see the chat? Oh, one minute, share. From the first one. I think the first question was in case of base issues. Okay. No need to seal gap before or lay. Can be directly SFM on top of the stick. Okay, we're talking here. Let's say you don't want to do milling. Depending on the crack severity, and base is good. If the crack severity is not bad, we can just overlay. Otherwise, we recommend to seal it first before we overlay. That's the first question. Second question is, what is the price per square meter? I think if we can, I think I gave the contact us later on for commercial. I think this is more of the technical, but commercial, if you can contact us later, we will happy to give you the quotation. Is there any cases occur before where the fiber is not intact with the bitumen and HMA which give debris on the pavement? No, so far we have not experienced that. So far with the QA/QC process we have put in, making sure that mix is done. That's why the first thing everybody have to know that the mix is done by AHM VERTEX ourselves. We will send 2 or 3 qualified personnel, engineers or technicians to the plant to do the mixing. Yeah. So far we have not experienced any problem with the mixing in. There are QA/QC processes that we need to implement, but it's not. So far we have not experienced any problem with that. Okay, that's all the question. If there is any, please you can via chat or any question now. Now I will pass the presentation to Aina for the next topic, which is enhancement of the SFM that I talked about just now. Thanks.
Okay. I think let's take a 5 minutes break because I think that was quite a long session a bit. So let's come back at 11:07. 11:07. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, let's continue. So the next topic will be super fiber mix fuel resistant. This is actually our latest product, and it is an extension of the super fiber mix, but it is fuel resistant, whereby SFM is not fuel resistant. So as we know, asphaltic material is actually very susceptible to degradation by fuel spillage. So it can occur either because of the high volume of traffic or if there's a faulty vehicle. But the problem is when there's fuel leakage, what happens is that it will seep into the asphalt material and then it will dissolve the bitumen and it will cause the bitumen to peel off and then causes raveling on our road. In fact, there's actually a study where they where they submerge an asphalt core in diesel and then they observe the resilient modulus performance for a long period of time. And the conclusion is that the resilient modulus actually degrades significantly by a very short period of time, which is actually only in a week. So in just a week, the resilient modulus, which is the strength of the asphalt itself, can degrade significantly. So in order for us to solve this issue, we have come up with the solution, which is super fiber mix fuel resistant. So this is one of the tests that we did, which is we take an Marshall cake and then we submerge half of it in RON 97. Okay, so some people might ask, why do we submerge in RON 97 instead of diesel? Because studies have shown that gasoline or RON 97 is actually more corrosive than diesel. So we take this Marshall cake, we submerge half of it for 24 hours in RON 97, and then we measure the mass loss. So the mass before and the mass after. So if we follow the GKR requirement for PMB, the mass loss must be less than 4%. But as you can see here, for control or conventional AC14, the mass loss is very high, about 12%. But when we add our aramid and polyolefin fiber, which is the same fiber in SFM, plus another fuel resistant additive, it can actually reduce the mass loss to 3% only. So between 1.6 to 3%. So this new product is actually fuel resistant. This is an example of the applications for the SFM-FR. So these are all the areas that we know are very prone to fuel spillage. For example, at the toll booth, airport, bus station, the traffic light area, the industrial area, and the ports area. So for example, Port Kelang. Okay, this is the lab performance that we have done using actual loose sample from project site. So this is tested by UITM and also by USM Penang. So you can see here that, for example, if you look at the stability, the minimum requirement for GKR for PMA, polymer modified asphalt, is 13,000 Newton. But our SFM-FR can reach close to 18,000 Newton. That means our SFM-FR plus is very resistant against mechanical damage. And even the resilient modulus you can see here is close to 9,000 megapascal. Resilient modulus, as explained by Encik Hamid, is important. Let's say we want to design a pavement and we know that one pavement has a higher resilient modulus than the other. So we can actually make this pavement even thinner. So we can save costs in this situation. You can also check the tensile strength ratio, which is the moisture resistant ability. It is over 90%. That means SFM-FR only lose about 10% of its tensile strength after being submerged in water. So it's also moisture resistant. This is our first POC project. It's only, I think, completed last week, the 20th of November. You can't see it here. So it is in Port Kelang. So there's very high traffic and very high loading. In fact, sebab saya sendiri jaga site tu. So I saw memang satu truck ni bawa 52 tan with only 4 axle. So it's very, very high traffic and very high loading. And the total area was about 7,000 meters squared. You can see the photos for the before work. There's a lot of diesel spillage. because there's a lot of traffic light here as well. And as of now, which is about 1 week after, the condition of the road is still good, even though there's a fuel spillage, but it's still good, it's still maintaining its performance, and there's no raveling. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about the next product, which is our fiber reinforced all-weather cold mix asphalt. So we know in Malaysia there's a lot of potholes, and obviously if there's potholes, you need to patch it with cold mix. And there's a lot of available cold mix out there that you can buy cheaply from the hardware store. But I want to say that even if we buy the cheap cold mix, but if you have to keep on patching it over and over again, the long-term cost is actually really high. So we offer you the all-weather fiber reinforced cold mix asphalt, even though at a bit higher price compared to the conventional ones, but because it is very durable, so instead of you have to patch it over and over again, you only need to patch it once, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. So the special thing about these two products is that it has the same fiber in our SFM, and we also have a chemical additive to improve its workability on site, so that it's easy for the contractor to use the cold mix, and also for storage. This product is also our own R&D since 2018, 100% Bumi Putra, our own formulation, our own manufacturing. We have VTX Super. VTX Super is for either less than 20 mm or less than 10 mm aggregate for normal pothole size. And we also offer VTX Micro, which is for example, like if you have a longitudinal crack between one lane to another lane and you have crack in between that, so you cannot use the regular size cold mix. You can use VTX Micro, which is very fine. So you can just put it in between. This is actually a guideline released by RIM, Road Engineering Association Malaysia. So they released a guideline, not a spec, a guideline on cold mix standard for permanent pothole patching. So based on this guideline, if your product can pass all these requirements, you can label it as permanent pothole patching. So as you can see here, our VTX Super pass all the requirements. So for example, for stability, the requirements is more than 6,000 Newton at 72 hours of curing, and our product can reach almost 20,000 Newton. So it's actually better than the hot mix itself. Okay, this is an example of our product. So this is our first test done in Jalan Ceras Batu 11. So back then we still use guni. Sekarang kita pakai pail. So kita boleh nampak kat sini dia all weather because kita boleh tuang terus dalam air. So air tu tak perlu keluarkan. Kita hanya perlu keluarkan batu-batu yang tertanggal macam ni. Kemudian kita boleh terus tuang. So ini adalah keadaan dia selepas 17 bulan. So yang sebelah kanan ni sebenarnya kita pakai kontrol, kita pakai cold mix biasa, so boleh nampak dah tertanggal dah. Tapi kita punya VTX Super, walaupun dah 17 bulan, kawasan ni kita nampak ni selekoh ni, industrial area sekeliling ni penuh dengan kilang konkrit. So dia ada high traffic kat sini, tapi kita punya cold mix masih bertahan selama 17 bulan. So ni, like I said before, of course kita boleh je beli cold mix biasa daripada kedai. Tapi walaupun dia murah, kalau kita keep on repeating, keep on patching macam ni, lama-lama akan jadi mahal juga. So instead of doing that, if we were to buy VTX Super, kita boleh patch sekali je, lepas tu kita tak payah risau dah. Okay, ini contoh ni lot parking kereta di JKR Ipoh. Installed JKR Ipoh Perak. So installed on July 2020. Waktu ni Datuk Hamdan ketika tu Timbalan Pengarah Perak. Sekarang dia dah pencen. Dan ada juga Encik Abu Hassan, jurutera awam daripada JKR Perak. Kedalaman dia dalam 35 mm macam tu. Ini pun kita tak ada pakai tag code, kita terus tuang dan kita compact pakai plate compactor biasa pun tak apa. So this is the condition after 4 tahun. Ni kita baru pergi last week. So dia masih lagi ada di situ. So it's very strong and it's very durable. Okay. Ini saya tunjuk di LPT 2, Lebuh Raya Pantai Timur 2. It's a extreme condition sebab macam kita tahu kalau kat LPT ni dia punya monsoon season dia hujan tu non-stop lah dekat situ. Jadi dia try kita punya produk Disember 2022. Ni bersama-sama juga dengan EIS. So ni rupa porthole dia. Saiz porthole dia sangat besar, 1 meter by 2 meter, kedalaman 60 mm. So ni lagi dalam daripada kalau kita biasa repair jalan MP50. So ini 60 mm, lagi dalam daripada MP50 biasa. So senang je, macam saya cakap tadi dia all weather. So air yang bertakung tak perlu nak keluarkan, tuang sahaja. Dan macam saya cakap tadi, kita ada chemical additive membuatkan dia senang sangat nak digunakan. So dia lembut je supaya memudahkan kontraktor buat kerja. Okay, kemudian kita compact pakai plate compactor yang biasa. And then boleh immediately open to traffic. So ni keadaan dia setelah 4 minggu. So kita boleh nampak kat sekeliling ni banyak crack. Tapi once crack ni jumpa je kita punya VTX super, dia terus stop. Kenapa? Sebab kita ada fiber reinforcement. So fiber tu dia menghalang crack tu daripada merebak ke dalam kawasan pothole ni. Unfortunately setelah 2 bulan macam tu, the whole area tu dah kena mill and pave, so kita tak boleh nak monitor lagi lah. Okay, kita juga ada kelulusan daripada Armal. Dan kita baru sahaja dapat sertifikat daripada Kementerian Sains, Teknologi dan Inovasi untuk local R&D product. Okay, seterusnya saya pass semula kepada Encik Hamid untuk fiber reinforced concrete.
Sorry.
English eh? English.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you, Aina. So let's continue. Now is new subject. Now let's read the spotting. Now we're talking about concrete. This is called fiber reinforced concrete, or short form FRC. We can use any type of concrete, whether it is a normal concrete grade between 15 to 60, or we can use also high performance concrete, around 60 to 100, 120 maybe, and or even ultra high performance concrete, higher than 120 or higher than 100 MPa. So any type of concrete can be used. What we do is just add the fiber. This is different fiber from the one that we discussed just now in the asphaltic. This is what we call the ferro fibers. Consists of 2 configuration of fibers. The fiber are the same. One is called polypropylene, but the configuration is mixed of one is called fabricated polypropylene fiber, which is a bit fine compared to the coarser one, which is a twisted bundle. Main purpose is to reduce and control the shrinkage or temperature cracking. This is important for the early curing phase of the concrete curing process. The other fiber is to handle impact crack, or load transfer, to handle the load transfer, crack, post-crack performance. This is thicker, it is coarser, and it's twisted. It is twisted to make the distribution of the fiber better. That's why we twist it. I will elaborate later on. The idea is basically to replace the steel reinforcement BRC or mesh wire you want to call it. So that it is easier to handle, and inshallah it will also be cheaper. It comes in a bag, 1 kg bag of fiber. Application is only for non-structural elements. Yeah, here it can be used in concrete pavement, basically concrete on grade. Can be used on floor on grade. Here is factory or warehouses, motorcycle lane, yeah, road curb. For multiple level building parking lot, you can use also for the topping. You have already the concrete slab, and then you want to top it with the fiber. Can use for drain. Can be mixed in situ at the site. A New Jersey barrier can be used also for jogging track. This is for the house developer or area commercial development. Can also be used for shotcrete, helicopter pad, or any floor concrete on grade. Yeah? So it's only for non-structural for now. We are doing R&D to see the application on the structural elements. What are the advantages? Main advantage is it is stronger and more durable. It provides three-dimensional reinforcement. Here I have a demonstration why it works. Yeah. This is a video comparing the impact test. One using ferro, the other one on the right side without the fibers. So we just try to hack it using a jackhammer, and you can see on the right where there is no fiber, it just break into two, just fail. While the one with the fiber is stop. It still fail at the same time, but it has the post crack resistant to make it more durable. In this case, it is really take a long time to break it, and the leg is already up there. Try to help to break the cube, and at the end of the day, of course, you can see broken, but you can see the fiber there, but it takes much longer, more than 10 times to crack open the cube, because with the three-dimensional reinforcement, it provides resistance to crack, or the crack to propagate. Here is a simple comprehensive test, the normal test, on the right without the fiber, on the left with the fiber. So we compress it, and you can see it fail about the same time, but the nature of the failure is so different. Here on the right, it already spoiled, while on the left, because of the fiber, it still holds the piece together. Yeah, you might have crack, but the fiber will help to control and resist the crack to further. And on the right side is a simple impact test where we use a thin slab and we drop a hammer. The first one, this one is the slab without fiber. We just drop the hammer. And it just break into pieces. Now the next slide is the same slab, but we add fibers into it, and we drop the same hammer, same thickness of slab, and this is what happened. It absorbs and it resists the crack. Yeah. So this is a good demonstration that the fiber really works. Actually, humankind have used this fiber for a long time, thousands of years, to build houses. But with the latest technology, is refined and make it modern. Easy to mix. Imagine now you are replacing steel enforcement, that means in terms of logistic, in terms of the delivery of the mesh wire of the PRC is really a headache, and then you have to find a place, a space to store it. Hopefully nobody steals it. Yeah, but with this one, it's so easy. This is what you do. Just add the bag into the missing truck. Just like that. So it's so easy. And you just mix it for extra 10 to, about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the size, volume of the concrete. And then you're ready to cast. It's so easy. Dosage used depending on the application and the traffic expected traffic. We can design it for you. So varies from 2 kg to 4 kg. Sometimes we can use 1.5, for example, for a normal walkway. Maybe we can 1.5 bag is enough. For 4 kg here, we're talking here about a very heavy traffic load and high traffic volume. Yeah, so we can reduce. Just like BRC, you can design for different sizes. So here we vary the dosage to be applied for different traffic condition. So conventional concrete pavement, we use, let's say the BRC. It will provide you only 2-dimensional reinforcement to reduce or control the crack. Whereas using fiber, that will provide a 3-dimensional reinforcement. So here every millimeter of space will be reinforced by the fiber. Of course, for the conventional, we need to put the steel reinforcement with the spacer, and then you get the truck to be there, and sometimes it involves double handling where you cannot go to the end of the section, so you double handling. This will take time. Compared to the one that we have, we just add the fiber into the rolling mixer and cast it, and so immediately you can save a lot of time. Our experience, it can reduce up to 80% of construction time here for the concreting. Yeah, so really save time, easy to use, and provide you a better reinforcement. Let's talk about the time. Yeah, so we can of course design the concrete. We are also concrete specialists. We can design depending on your requirement. Sometimes we can afford to close the road or section for 7 days for curing. So we can use G40 and above to get the 7 days curing. But we can also design down to 24 hours. In this case, I think our last project in Port Klang, we use fast setting concrete with fiber reinforcement, which we can reach about 30 MPa within 24 hours. We can do it even faster depending on the area. So it's easy to mix and install. That's normal concrete, but mixing is faster. And most importantly, it reduces your maintenance costs. In this case, this is our project in CIQ FT berapa ni? 038. Yeah. Just this is the commercial lane of commercial vehicles only. We need the trucks and heavy vehicle going through the lane from Johor to Singapore. So this upgoing to Singapore, only commercial vehicle use. This is the condition of the road before we came in. So we look at the site and we propose to use the concrete as a permanent solution, which we did in April 2021. Done fairly quickly, a few days done, because we use a 3 kg per meter cube. G40 with 300 mm thickness. This is a 60-meter length of job where I think we have done it in 1 day. So far has been, this is 23, 24 also condition is about the same as what we see in the picture. So far it's good. There's no issue. it provides a good solution. On the left side, before this section has to be maintained like monthly. You look at the condition, yeah, and I think they are tired of maintaining it monthly. This is major maintenance cost here, whereas here it's so permanent solution. If you look at it, it's very cost effective, and in terms of maintenance cost has been reduced compared to the asphaltic. Okay, this one is a comparison, just to give you some feeling on the cost comparison. If you're using normal A10 reinforcement, and this only material cost comparison, excluding the logistic of the steel reinforcement, the workmanship, yeah. So we look at it compared to the using FRC. So if you're using A10, you can expect about 10% cost saving and faster construction time. Yeah, and inshallah longer, more durable, because it really very effective in crack control. If you compare the A12, of course you have more saving. This is can increase up to about 16% using FRC compared to the A12. So in terms of cost, it is cheaper. Material cost, yeah, is cheaper compared to the if you use the steel reinforcement. Proven track record, I think we have done quite a few jobs. This is only the what we listed here is with the government sector or government agency, with JKR and SAFWA, and also councils in MPAJ plus highway as well. So altogether we have done about 8,700 meter cube on about 20 projects. Actually now it's 21, 22 projects, and this is actually last year. Yeah, and this is a good video that I can show you how it's done. This is in Kuang at the Lata Highway. They have problem at their toll plaza. You can see quite a major crack and depression at this panel. Very dangerous spot, especially if you are on motorcycle. So what we did is we hack and remove the existing panel. Of course, installation dauba is compulsory to the existing concrete, so that we allow conduit flooring. We also installed pillar board to the existing curb. And this is how it's done. We just mix it with the fiber. Normal compaction using the vibrator. Feed it, level it. Room finish to provide the skid resistance, and then filling compound. So normal SOP for concrete is done, and this is open after 3 days for heavy vehicle. Done. Yeah, so it's quickly. It was done in I think the whole work is 2 days. I think within 2 days. You can open the traffic immediately. Yeah, and no more crack until today. We inspect it every 6 months. Looks good. This is a video in CIQ FT188 Johor Bahru at the causeway. This is how we mix it. Okay, so same procedure. This is bigger area, therefore we use the automatic screeder. And broom finish. So same, we use 3 kg because it's very heavy traffic here. Going into, this also for commercial vehicle, only going into the CIQ outbound to Singapore with the grade 40. With this one, I think 7 days we achieved 51. But let me remind you that adding the fiber does not increase the compressive strength. In this case, we have used, I think, grade 40. And with some additive to increase the compressive strength a bit. And you can see this is the condition before and now. At the bottom picture on the right, this is now. Yeah. Good. No more problem. Before it's just like, it's ponding everywhere, and it's really like you can really do fishing there. But now I think even MB of Johor also very happy with the product. This is at Gunung Jerai. Condition was really bad. We don't have a picture before. I think it was really bad. This is the road access to the VHF. There's a radar facility at Gunung Jerai for the military. So we need to upgrade it. We use the FRC, and that really solved their problem. Now they can access the location easily, faster. Yeah. And this is quite challenging. Imagine if you have to use the steel reinforcement, it will be almost impossible to do the job. With the fiber, it's so convenient, it's light, so easy to mix in the concrete. Yeah. You can also, in this case, we do not use the normal lorry mixer. We mix the fiber in situ because of the logistical problem. We can't get the lorry truck to climb the hill. It's too steep. Again, it's dry. Yeah, it was done, and the issue problem. This is a picture of the pengarah and the KSU at that time. This is at Pasir Gudang. Pasir Gudang famous for the bad road condition because of heavy truck there, commercial vehicle, and we recommended in this section. This is a junction to use our FRC. At that time, we are still doing R&D on our SFM fuel resistant plus. It was not ready, so we use concrete. Heavy traffic, as you know, in Pasir Gudang, Johor Port area, high stress area. Very, very frequent maintenance was required. So what we did is we use our FRC, done very quickly. Again, 3 kg because of the traffic condition there. Using G40, this also was done in a few days, and until today, it solved a lot of problems. All this one that I show you just now, this is we did ourselves. As not only the supplier of the fiber, but also the contractor to do the job. This require actually, if you want to, ours is I can say we are specialists in concrete too. So we emphasize on the workmanship and quality. And Alhamdulillah, and even the MB of Johor is happy with the product, and now there's no more problem in terms of the road condition at that section. This is a special project with Plus. The challenge is this is previously they use leach, they use asphaltic, but the road, this lane is used by the dump truck, lorry sampah, to dump the garbage at Bukit Taga facilities. This is Bukit Taga Toll Plaza. So multiple defects like crack, raveling, potholes, whatnot, yeah, because of the leaching effect from the lorry truck waste. Major problem. So we as a permanent solution, but the challenge is they want it to be done quickly. First, secondly, they want to only lay on the top section. So here we're talking about only 110 mm thickness. To cater for that, we use G60 grade and 4 kg of fiber because of the load expected and because of thinner than normal. Yeah. And the challenge is to open the traffic after 12 hours because again, Plus can't afford to close the section for too long. It will cause a lot of traffic jam. Yeah. So Alhamdulillah, work is done. This is actually our POC. It has been more than 1 year now. Condition is still good. They are For the fast track, this is 12 hours opening of traffic. That means fast queuing. Yes, we encounter a few issues, but we managed to resolve it in terms of workability. So the workability problem was encountered at the first section, but but we adjusted the mix, and the workability was good for the rest of the section. So it was done successfully. This is the latest one at the same location as our SFM FR, but over the U-turn because of the severity of the traffic load, high stress, and the condition before was like this. It's very, very bad. This is less than, I think it's about 6 months asphalt surface. After 6 months, it looks like after 10 years, yeah, or after 5 years. It was very, very bad. So we recommended to use our concrete. Here is also fast setting 24 hours. But we open it after about 3 days, yeah. So good. 300 about average about 225 mm, 3 kg. So it was done in less than a day, the casting itself. So Alhamdulillah, now open to the traffic, very, very heavy, like what Aina mentioned. Yeah. So again, cost saving. I think we have a proven track record just now. And if you look at the supply so far, we have supplied quite a lot with no reliability, no issue in supplying it. Our supply is ready to take any size of job, but of course, if a bigger size of job, give us a lead time to prepare for the fibers. Yeah. Because the fiber is flexible, it can also be used for thin slab convenient as low as 50 mm, which we did at Federal Road Motor Lane in Federal Highway, PJ. Again, we provide consultation, design, and forensic for value-added services. Yeah, for concrete. Pricing, as we mentioned just now, very competitive. Our strategy always in any of our product is volume. Therefore, we put a very competitive price so that it's affordable and can be used continuously. Yeah. So again, this also Armal, this green product. We have our My Green certificate for this. Yeah, My Hijau. And as a conclusion, it is very cost-effective solution actually. If concrete requirement is there, and it's ideal for high, heavy, and permanent solution. Yeah, that concludes this FRC section. Let me see if there is any question from the floor. Okay, yes, has been answered at the site. Unless there are any interesting question that you want to share with the floor? Yeah. Okay. Now let's quickly go to other product. Now I pass it to Muzamil for the other part of the other products that we have. Quickly, MSD.
20 minutes for 3 products. Assalamualaikum. Hi everyone. I hope you are still fresh. We have I think about 20 minutes. I have 3 products to cover, so I'll be as quick as possible, but I hope I can explain all these products well enough for you to understand how to use it and how it is suitable to be applied in Malaysia, especially. Okay, the first one I have here, we call it multi-speed deflectometer. So if you are aware or if you are familiar with PCA, pavement condition assessment, deflectometer is something that you use to assess the structural condition of roads or pavement. So the normal or the conventional method we use for such tests is the falling weight deflectometer or FWD. So as I said, it measures the pavement's structural integrity. However, the usage of FWD, because it's an old technology, So it's also static. It's not mobile. It means that we have to stop on the location to do some tests. When we stop, we have to ensure that the safety of the technical workers, people who collect all the data, is secure. That's why we're going to need TMP, traffic management plan. It is time consuming because it's a stationary test. We have to do a couple of different tests. And because of all this process, it is tedious. In a day, there are limited tests that we can do, about in total about 15 to 20 kilometer of tests that can be done per day. And all of this safety issue is real. It's not something that we create. As we see in the pictures, as I'm showing here on the right hand side, the pictures of from Ikram Paves where accident happens during the data collection using FWD. So what we have here, what AH and VERTEX have here today, is the new technology, the new way, the innovative way to assess the pavement integrity, the structural pavement integrity. So first, the big difference, it is a mobile survey. As I say, FWD is a static survey. This MSD, we call it multi-speed deflectometer, is a mobile survey. So if you see on the right hand side, there's a truck, we call it MSD truck. So the sensors are located actually on the wheels itself. So there are 3 sensors with a little bit of loading at the back of the truck. The MSD sensors will be able to sense the deflection on the road and assess the pavement condition. So the advantages of MSD against FWD is multifold. So first, it's mobile. Second, if you have a mobile survey, then you don't need any TMP. So you minimize traffic disruption, you minimize safety hazards. And because it is mobile, we collect the data continuously. Actually, the data will be collected every 10 meter. Actual on the machine itself, the data is being collected every 1 meter. But because if we collect data for every 1 meter, the data would be huge, humongous, and too heavy for the servers. We're going to need it for every 10 meter. And as supplementary pavement condition that can be done using the sensors are macro texture and also roughness. So we can measure the macro texture and the roughness. This is important also for the safety of the pavement. In comparison to FWD, the MSD is weather independent. It can be run during the rain. Although I must warn that during the MSD data collection itself, we are going to take pictures from cameras. So during the rain, although in rain, the pictures will not be as clear as it is during the good weather. The picture or the camera will take continuously the surface photo where we can compare the readings that we have gotten in the GIS-based mapping as well as the actual picture that we have taken. And it is, of course, every day nowadays, today is all IoT technology. All the data that we have captured is GIS-based and will be uploaded into the cloud and interface GIS-based result. So it will be easier for the asset owner, for the user to assess the results and do the management or the thinking easier. And last but not least, it is not a new technology, relatively new in the world, but in New Zealand and Italy, Australia, Canada, we have surveyed using MSD for almost 45,000 lane kilometer. So you can be assured that the product is reliable and we have the results and the data to back it up, to back the technology. So this is the process of the data collection. We will collect the data. Data will be uploaded into the cloud. Geosoft is our partner in New Zealand. It will be, and the data will be analyzed. For MSD, we will need data, supplementary data from FWD. This is important, very, very important for calibration and also for GPS alignment. So once we have this FW data, we won't need the FW data anymore. We can do the pavement condition analysis without FWD if we have this calibration done already. Once it is done, we will process the data, and then in the GIS-based output or web-based, the clients will be able to see the result of their asset or their roads. So this is one of the sample that we have run that we have done so far in Malaysia. So the location is secret because this is some projects that we have done on our own with our client, of course. And you have seen, you can see that in this picture on the left hand side, there's a lot of green dots. So green dots means the structural condition of the road is still good. As you can see, there's a small camera label, as I'm pointing out with the mouse cursor, and it is confirmed by the images that we see on the right hand side. So it is showing that the pavement are still in good condition. Also on the if you see below, there's a lot of tagging, a lot of data that have been captured. The most important thing is the central deflection that will give the result of the structural condition of the road. So as I said, the results or the points are all GIS based mapping, which means every 10 meter, the MSD will capture a data that each of the data comes with the latitude and longitude location. And we can double check, as I said, in this example, we can see that the camera is hovering over red areas, red section of the roads. And on the camera itself, we can see clearly the stresses on the road. We can see actually alligator cracks on the wheel path and also block cracks in between. So it confirms, it verifies the data that we have collected on the road is actually the actual data that we see on the surface. So with this tool, it is actually make it easier for the asset owner to identify the pavement section that requires maintenance or repair work. So it helps a lot. If you have a limited budget, you can prioritize which section that you want to do first, which section you want to, maybe perhaps you want to do the red section first and then yellow section second, and lastly the green ones. So it helps with the maintenance program and also the budget allocation. So the other advantage of MSD is because FW, as I said, is a static test, and usually people do it for every 250 meter in project level. So there might be some location that, or some areas that is not tested by FWD. So these are all tested or covered by MSD. So all of these square red areas, even though it is not tested by FWD, you might have some red section here, as you can see in the red boxes, but MSD will cover all that and make sure that the missing FWD data, we have all the required data to do proper budget allocation or proper maintenance work in the road section. So in comparison, this is just a simple comparison between MSD and FWD. So FWD for a day, we can do until maybe 75 to 100 points a day, but in comparison to FWD with MSD, we can run up to 32,000 points per day. That is almost equivalent to 320 kilometers per day. So in comparison with FWD, you can only do tests for 20 kilometers per day. This is a large, I think, 8-fold difference in terms of the numbers. And this testing vehicle, of course, FWD, if we say if you are familiar with FWD, it will require a truck and trailer. For MSD, we will require a 2 or 3 axle truck. Data resolution, depending on the point interval, sometimes in the project level, we have data every 200 meters. So the data resolution is for every 200 meters. But for FWD, it's every 10 meters continuous. Testing speed, FWD, you have to stop. But with MSD, it's mobile. You can drive until 60 km per hour, up to 60 km per hour to do the testing. You don't need any TMP for MSD. You will need some TMP or TMPs for FWD. Both are weather independent, can be run during the rain. Duration to collect data. For example, I see, I'll give here for 200 kilometers per day. So 200 kilometers data that we need. 10 days we will require with FWD, or 5 days if we run 40 kilometers per day. But with MSD, we can cover 200 kilometers just a single day. So imagine that. A single day we can do tests or do structural tests for 200 kilometers per day. For an analysis period will depends on FWD. Sometimes the FWD team will be busy and it will take a longer time. But for MSD, our promise is that 14 days for 200 kilometers of analysis, data analysis time, and the result for MSD will all be in a map, GIS map. It's easier for the user or for the asset owner to assess the result. So in terms of safety risk, as I've explained a little bit before at the start, you have a lot of safety risks using FWD because you have to stop and requires TMP, but not with MSD. You have very low safety risk. So in a nutshell, MSD is a user-friendly IoT tool. It's very efficient, very quick, especially for for network level survey. It is an integrated visual and structural data. The result will be displayed in a GIS map. Because of the higher data resolution, we have more data to work with. The database is easily accessible. It's web-based. If you have internet, we should have internet in Malaysia, very fast internet. We can access it all the time. And also because we don't need any TMP or road closure, it reduces traffic disruption and also improves the safety of operations. So quickly, if you have any question, please just post it in the web chat. My colleague will try the best to answer them. So right now, to the latest technology that we have. So just now I have MSD. MSD is more towards the structural condition of the pavement. So LiDAR scanner profiler, or the LSP, is more towards the surface condition of the pavement. So LiDAR this stands for light detection and ranging. So what it does is actually it will let out a pulse of light or laser of light, and then the sensor will get the light and then access the distance. So that's why it is important. Also, that's why it is used to get the surface condition of the pavement. So as I said, the problem statement, not for the issues that we have so far, for surface pavement condition analysis, we conventionally use MLP. We call it multi-laser scanner, or the laser crack measuring system, LCMS. So what do they give us? First, the result is not a digital twin. If you are familiar with the product or the result or the report, it will be a report comes with a table, and then, for example, for 100-meter section, it will give you the result or the condition in a percentage. So I will explain it later, the products of, or the output of our LSP, laser scanner profiler. Secondly, for MLP, to run MLP, you will need at least 2 skilled operators with specialized training. It is not the case for LSP. It is really easy to use, really user-friendly. For data processing time, it requires significant processing time. For example, as I have gathered, for 100 kilometer, it will require around 2 weeks of processing time. It is actually long in comparison to LSP. The other disadvantage of MLP is because MLP is using GPS as the location. So if you are familiar with GPS technology, it only gives you meter level accuracy. So if you requires very precise, which we are for road condition assessment analysis, GPS, I think, in our opinion, is not suitable for this kind of work. And because if you are familiar also with the vehicle, if you see on the right, as I'm pointing out with my mouse cursor, because of the sensor is located at the bumper of the van, the vertical range is limited. So when it is limited, you can straightly wonder how it is going to measure like curbstone that is relatively high, or maybe it cannot. It's impossible to measure large height variation. And also one of last but not least, MLP, because it is a laser or a line-based scanner. When it is slow, when it's below 30 or 25 kilometer per hour, it is unable to measure and collect data. It will be full of errors, or it is unable. You won't get any usable result. So you have to plan your survey really well before you go on the data collection trip. Okay, now now is the latest technology in terms of assessing the pavement surface condition in the world. You are maybe familiar with the technology of LiDAR scanner profiler, or LiDAR itself in general. If you want to do slope or geometrical slope assessment. If you can see on the right, we use the LiDAR to get the 3D geometry. What this do is actually we can know the exact range or the exact height
millimeter level accuracy of the geometry of the road. So because one of the disadvantages of using images like we have here in the like I'm pointing out right now, you cannot see, or you cannot differentiate the difference in height. So with colors, like as in the output of the LSP here, it helps you to know which portion of the road is subsidence atau ada rendah sikit, which section of the road is a little bit high, so you know the different level or the 3D geometry of the road. So the other sensor that we have on the LSP, we call it intensity. Intensity sensor is very useful for road marking. You can know, or you can observe the condition of the road marking on the roads. And because of the millimeter accuracy level of the sensor on the LiDAR scanner profiler, it is now possible to detect even grooves detection after the work is done. Sometimes when you drive over a certain or section period of road, you can experience some grooves, which, if according to conventional IRI tests, might give you good results, but in actual, we can see like in the picture that I'm pointing right now, there are several differences in height on the road section that has causes a little bit of bad experience during driving. So this is all possible using the laser scanner profiler. I know it is a really short time to explain this technology. This is all possible because of the laser scanner will be held or will be put at the back of the vehicle. You see, it is not a line-based scanning, it's area-based scanning. So over a second will be a million of pulse laser directed at the road surface, and it will be captured by the LiDAR sensor or the LiDAR scanner to get the geometry results, as I've explained before. And then the other advantages of the digital twin, as I'm showing right now, at the bottom right, we can see here, even the manhole, even the slight height differentiation or height in the manhole, we can easily detect it, easily detectable by the LSP, by the LiDAR scanner profiler. So of course, in today's technology, everything we do has AI in the technology. So with the image that we capture on board, we are able to do or differentiate 14 type of distresses. These are all automatic process. It means we have to do nothing. We have to sit and analyze. The AI will do it for us. It will differentiate longitudinal crack, transversal crack, alligator crack, block cracking, damaged shoulder. All these can be easily differentiated by the AI. So in quick summary, comparison between LSP and MLP, laser scanning profiler and the conventional multi-laser profiler, both can be used to collect IRI, cracking, rutting, and macro taxa. That is standard for surface pavement condition analysis. So, but with LSP, we are able to get the digital twin model of the roads, not with an MLP. And the result will be displayed in a GIS-based output, not with MLP. It is impossible with MLP. And with LSP, we collect 6D data collection. We have digital twins, we have high resolution image, also the intensity image. But with MLP, there's no digital twin, so only 3x3D. Also with LSP, because it is an area scanning technology, it doesn't have any minimum driving speed. 0 km/h, you can stop during the test and then continue. There's no problem. But when MLP, you have a minimum of 20-25 km/h driving speed. So it can be a problem if there's traffic jam, things like that. And then the height detection, because it is laser or LiDAR based, it is very accurate, 0.45 mm in terms of the height accuracy. Very easy operation. We only need one person doing all the work in a car. As for MLP, we will need 2 persons. And in case of the location or georeference data collection for MLP, we call technology, we call it the real-time kinematics, or the RTK. The RTK, in comparison to the GPS or GNSS, has a level of accuracy of 2 centimeter level of accuracy, in comparison 2 to 10 meters level accuracy of MLP. So really much big difference here in terms of the accuracy on the map. And then because of the combination of RTK, GNS, and MEU, LSP can also be used in tunnels when we don't have any GPS. But it's impossible to use and to do any survey with MLP in the tunnel without GPS. But it is possible with LSP. Depth field of view, it is because the height of the sensor on the vehicle. We have larger depth field of view with LSP, 80 cm, but 4 cm, only 4 cm on MLP. Installation height 1.8 meter. It means that we can be installed on any commercial SUV, MPV, van, as long as the sensor can be installed on the back. But for MLP, usually we will have a specialized purpose vehicle. You will be using the same vehicle on the road, but with LSP we can actually detach, and it is portable and mounted to any SUV or MPV. So I hope I have maybe some time left to explain the last product that we have today. 5 minutes time. So this is the innovation that we have found, I think last year, because as Mr. Hamid has explained, it started as like a hobby. We were looking for something that is innovative in terms of the glowing technology, and we have found this product that is best in the world. Because according to our research, there are multiple products from Holland, from Australia. They have all failed. From China also, they have all failed in their application on road. So this is the only product in the world that have passed. They have track records of 4 to 5 years in all over the world. So that's why we have decided to go for this product, to bring this product into Malaysia. Okay, the advantages of this paint. Okay, if we have the chance, or if you have the opportunity to come to our booth, we will demonstrate it. You usually have this product in our booth. You can see that it is charged by sunlight. You don't need any electric, you don't need any charging station. No, it is 100% charged by sunlight. So when it is charged by sunlight, when you don't use electricity to power it up, it means we have zero CO2 emissions, very environmentally friendly. It glows in the dark up to 10 hours. When we say up to 10 hours, it means that when it is fully charged, requires around maybe 40 to 1 hour of charging. It will stay charged, or it will glow up to 10 hours. It is already certified by CIRIM. We have done the test in CIRIM, also in France. The only product in Malaysia that is certified by the CIRIM, the glow in the dark product. And because of the feedback that I've gotten from the users, from the road users, in terms of the retro reflectivity, I will explain to you because why it is important. Because the paint itself, it doesn't reflect, it only glows. So in the case of road application, we will need this retro reflectivity, so that in case there's lights from the vehicles, it will be reflected by the beads. So that's why we have retro reflectivity beads applied with the paint. Number 4, the multi-purpose uses. If you notice, I've used the terminology paint. I didn't use glow in the dark road marking. I didn't use glow in the dark road lines. I used paint. Why is it paint? Because it is actually like a paint. You can apply it on any surface that you want, provided that we have suitable undercoat underneath the glow in the dark. That's the requirement. That's the only requirement of the glow in the dark paint. It is available in 3 colors: almond green, white, and yellow. But the color that has the best performance of glowing is almond green with 10 hours. White and yellow only gives you 6 hours, but it's already long enough for glow in the dark paint. So actually, as I explained, the beads that we have applied on the GIDP is actually first in the world. Even our supplier, or what do you call it? The principal in France doesn't have the technology or the specification of the beads that should be applied on the paint. So these are all based on the result of our R&D. So these are, as I say, because it is a paint, there are limitless application that you can do. You can do it, for example, on bicycle path. You can do it in the park. You can do it in the walkway. You can do it in the safety ingress or egress in your factory when there's no light or it's the short of electricity. You can put it on boats because it is resistant to maritime condition. You can use it as pedestrian crossing or curb, anything that you want. maybe you want to increase the safety portion or the safety element of the object, also in terms of artistic creation, because it looks very good. So the track record, this is a track record all over the world from our principal in France. They have been applied, as you see in the map, all over the world. In countries such as Canada, we have application in Africa, in Arab. So when you say, can it last, or can it sustain, or can it, like, boleh tahan tak the climate of Malaysia? Yes, it can. Of course it can. And this is our own track record, local in Malaysia. We have laid almost 2,000 meters square of glow-in-the-dark paint. This is pictures taken from our first project with JKR Hulu Langat, the first glow-in-the-dark project in Malaysia. As you see on the right-hand side, it is the actual pictures on site. So you see, in the dark, it will glow. It will glow as nice as you can see in this picture. So this is another picture from a site in JKR Bemban in Melaka. This is one of the latest one. This is special because this is the first time we have done some letterings with the paint. So you can see, because it is a paint, you can use it as to your anything that you want. When you want to write something, you can do it because it is a paint. So in terms of performance, of course, when you say 10 hours, we have the test that we have done. We have collected the performance, the result from our applications, and this shows that the result of the paint itself is indeed can last up to 10 hours, as we have said in our brochures, or have said in our in our flyers. Because right now in Malaysia, there are a couple of several other products, glow-in-the-dark products, although they say that they can last up to 10 hours, but they can't. So in reality, they can't. We have done our internal test ourselves. This is the test relating to the retroreflectivity, as I said, because the paint will require the beads so that it can function also excellent or good for road users. So this is the specs. As you can see, the 300 is for JKR, but with our beads, we can achieve up until 700 in dry or 292 in wet. So this is the result of the test that we have done with the luminance test that we have done. This is for the 10 hours or the 10 hours performance glowing time. This is related to it's according to the ISO 17398. The test is done by SIRIM. So if you can see, the performance is beyond, it's all according to class G. So the classes of the performance, maybe if you have more time, I'll talk to you about it, or you can maybe ask in the chat. Then maybe we can explain to you more in details about the classes of the performance of different glow-in-the-dark paints. And last but not least, this is test to compare, to ensure that the test or the paint conform with the standard for road line painting. It is according to MS 164, road line painting. And then you can see in the test here, the test for skinning, the test for bleeding, adhesion, abrasion. You don't need to worry about the performance of the paint. It all has passed the required result by SIRIM. So there's no safety issue, there's no performance issue. You don't need to worry about that. We have the SIRIM test to back our products. So in conclusion, it is a green technology because it has zero CO2 emission. With this technology, we can help our government to commit to cut carbon intensity against GDP by 45% by 2030. This is according to the Paris Agreement, and also to reach 70% of renewable energy capacity. Because if you said, if you use this plane, for example, as glow in the dark for road marking, you don't need to install road lights. You can save electricity on that. So that's why we said we can help Malaysia to reach the 70% renewable energy. It can increase the visibility of lines or objects in accident-prone areas because of the class D specification, up to 10 hours time of glowing. It has excellent retroreflectivity in wet or in dry condition with our beads. It is really easy to install, plug and play. It is the only product in the world that is proven since 2018, more than 5 years of track records. It can aid agencies or our clients is meeting in their ESG goals. It is important nowadays. And also, last but not least, if you have the chance to visit our sites all around Malaysia, I seriously recommend you to do that because it is very aesthetically pleasing. Oh yes. And also beware because not all the products or not all glow in the dark products that you can see on road nowadays is not all ours. Some of them is ours, but not all of them. So you want to see the difference. The good ones is ours product. The bad one is not. So that's all for me today. I think I thank you, our team. Maybe the Encik Samsul want to say something before we. Okay.
Okay, before Encik Samsul give a closing remark, allow me to just say a few words. Very sorry that we have limited time to discuss in detail, but please do contact us with the numbers here. If you need more details, if you need more explanation and elaboration, there's a lot of questions coming from the chat. We will try to reply today. But otherwise, do contact us, and I hope the session has been beneficial to all of you for sharing purposes, and thank you very much for your time. Silakan, Faris.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tuan Jamil, Encik Muzamil dan Syaina. Di atas very valuable and informative knowledge sharing tadi. So any question like I said, just drop in the chat box. And just want to remind you that the first three products is all ARMA punya approval, meaning that certified by HR and LM. So need not to worry if you apply to your punya projects. Okay, before I ended ataupun conclude this, Cik Gani ada anything to say on behalf of AGS on this forum? Cik Gani Syaban?
Dia cakap.
Okay, very much welcome. Okay, so I don't have any last word. But insyaAllah lah, walaupun terlajak 15 minit, tapi demi masa dan juga kerana ilmu, kita berkongsi dan juga apa boleh manfaat pada kita, insyaAllah Tuhan akan memberkati. Dengan itu saya sudahi dengan wabillahi taufiq. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.